Another day in another practice officially in the books here for the Washington Commanders. And with that being said, we have more news, notes, highlights, observations from another day here in Washington for practice. Now, like we always do, before we jump in, I want you guys to do me a favor and go follow all of the Washington Commanders media members on X right now, guys. I guarantee you will not regret it. They do such a good job getting the highlights, getting the news, and posting on X pretty much right away. So with that being said, you'll be updated on practice even before I am. So go follow them on Twitter if you haven't already done so. Big shout out to them and everything they do, man. They work so hard each and every single day, and all the highlights you see in this video are from them. With that being said, let's kind of dive into the video a little bit and talk about some players who are breaking out, who started where, maybe who's coming off the bench, and a couple of potential breakout players this season for the Washington Commanders. Now, the team started off with some punts. We saw Jamison Crowder, we saw Kashmir Allen, Demir Bird, and also Dotson and Forbes as well, getting the majority of those punt return. So let me know in the comments down below which one of these guys do you think will be the main punt returner. I think it's going to be Jamison Crowder. He's already has the experience, but let me know what you guys think. Also saw a little bit of a change here. Cornelius Lucas was at the right tackle position and Brandon Coleman was starting at the left tackle position. So obviously maybe switching it up a little bit there, but interesting to see, Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, these guys are really trying to find out, who's versatile, who's going to add a dynamic presence of being able to move on both sides of the offensive line, right? So they're really just in the stages of getting to know these players even more and seeing who is really good in what position specifically. We also got into some team drills here, and we had a nasty grab, a really good grab by Ben Sinnott. He had a pass that was thrown behind him by Jaden Daniels. He adjusted to it and made a really good catch. So you gotta really love that. Also, is it Sinnott or Sinnott? Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, overall, a good opening portion of today's practice, but things got a little bit dicey for Jaden Daniels. Definitely didn't have the best start in the world. Made a couple of errant throws, a few drops, but overall, practice really started to pick up, and as we went on, Jaden Daniels started to really get into his own and heat up, right? That's all he needs sometimes is to warm up in practice, and he can really get it going. So that was a major takeaway. We saw Tariq Castro Fields running with Emmanuel Forbes at outside corner with the first team defense. So that was interesting, right? Day one, you have, Emmanuel Forbes getting some starting reps, as well as Castro Fields, who is a guy who came over here, and he's been really good so far. Ever since he stepped foot in Washington, he has been a playmaker. He's had a good camp. So, keep in mind, this dude could definitely make a jump up to be a starting corner for day one of the regular season. Now, before we get any further into the video, guys, make sure you do me a massive favor. Hit the like button, but more importantly, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is free. It doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering the Commanders throughout the rest of the offseason, training camp, preseason, regular season, breaking down film, everything you guys need to know. We got you guys covered. Now, let's get back into the video. We also had a really good catch by Armani Rogers. The team really likes his potential. There was a point where he got injured and he kind of lost that steam. He had some momentum going into, last season and, missed some time. But right now, he is starting to gain that steam again, trying to earn maybe the tight end 3 spot on this team. You have Zach Ertz, you got the rookie Ben Sinnott, and then you got John Bates, you got Cole Turner, you got Colson Yankoff. So Amani Rogers definitely in position to really make a jump up this depth chart. So we'll see what he can do over the next couple of days here. And then we had a big time Jaden Daniels run, right? Using his legs, getting outside the pocket, and then just making plays, making guys miss, getting down the left sideline. He probably had like a 40 to 50 yard pickup on that run alone. So again, Jaden Daniels adding versatility, adding the ability to, extend plays with his legs, get outside the pocket. and just, make defenses stay honest. And if they're not, he's gonna get big time plays. Now, throw 11 on 11s, like I said, rough start. Had a couple of balls that were a little bit too high, a couple of ones that were, behind the receiver. But once he started to get it going, you could tell, man, this dude is going to be good. Now, had a really nice catch from Tinsley in 7 on 7s. Was able to kind of drag both feet in bounds. Very good coverage by Davion Davis. But Tinsley is another guy who is starting to really make a case to jump up this roster and maybe even be a big time threat at the wide receiver position for them. So definitely keep that in mind going forward. What else happened today in practice? So, Jaden Daniels took first QB reps in 7 on 7. Mariota's been, over the last few weeks, taking a bunch of the first team reps. Obviously, Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury trying to ease Jaden Daniels into it a little bit, which is fine. But now, over the last couple of days, we're starting to see him take more and more of those first team reps, getting to work with the Terry McLaurins and the Jahan Dotsons and the Zach Ertzes and the Austin Eckler. So that was good. But once Mariota came in, he threw a nasty ball to Tinsley. And again, that was the same ball where he got his toe dragged in and got a nice low catch there. So Tinsley definitely adjusting here. We had Tyler Owens coming in with a nice little interception. Tyler Owens, another guy, right? Lower on the depth chart, a UDFA, has a lot of work to do to make the roster behind Jeremy Chin, and Jeremy Reeves is another guy. I want to bring up Jeremy Reeves, man. This dude looks like the leader of the defense. He's been mic'd up throughout camp so far, and today he had a massive play where the defense was set up in a certain coverage. They read what the offense was trying to do. Jeremy Reeves calls out, a coverage change, and then they end up getting a big-time play defensively. So a big shout-out to Jeremy Reeves. This is a guy who is improving almost every single year and has been so important for what they're trying to do. Let's see, what else? So the run blocking looks really good. We're seeing Brian Robinson really start to, get these lanes, right? And those weren't happening last season. But right now, it seems a little bit different with this offensive line. Got to give them a big shout out. You had St. Juste and Forbes starting at corner in 11 on 11. So Forbes, again, making an impact. Yesterday, we saw he gained 17 pounds throughout the offseason, which is something he definitely needed to do. And now he is getting some starting cornerback reps in a Joe Witt defense where they're going to be able to generate a lot of turnovers. And he's a guy that, really did a good job throughout his collegiate career. Let's see, what else? Also, I think I said Davion Davis in coverage. Mike Davis was in coverage on Tinsley. I think I said that a while ago. Michael Wiley is someone to watch out for. Now, he's a running back that is behind Brian Robinson, behind Austin Eckler, behind Chris Rodriguez, and maybe even Jeremy McNichols. But Michael Riley right now has been doing a ton of work out the backfield, has a little bit of a burst to his acceleration, so he's been good in camp. Austin Eckler's been breaking out some big time runs, and again, that all stems from the offensive line. And then we got towards the later part of practice. That's when Jaden Daniels started to really look better. I think he had like 3 plays in a row just hitting guys in stride. Luke McCaffrey had a great route. Plenty of separation, great catch, great route. He's another player who's working his way up the depth chart here. So gotta love that for him. Tinsley nearly had another nasty grab down the field, but Castro Fields, like we brought up earlier, been starting to make some big time plays. Got a nice little PBU there. But overall, a really good practice for both offense and defense. We had the first turnover of the day from Caillou Blue Kelly. Mariota was picked off trying to get the ball to Terry McLaurin, and it was just a really good interception by Caillou Blue Kelly. So big shout out to him. We saw Mike Dieter at left guard with the first team during the last 2 periods. So he's someone that's trying to move up, the depth chart here. Quan Martin is having some really good plays, getting into the backfield, generating some pressure, blowing up quick screens and, quick routes by the running back. So he's been looking good. Really nice job by Daniels hitting Zacchaeus on an underneath route. I mean, overall, guys, that's pretty much it. Really good practice today by the Commanders. We're going to really start to ramp it up here. Pads are going to come on, and things are going to get intense. So make sure you guys do me a big favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Join the family. Turn on post notifications just so you're notified every time we post a Commanders video. And lastly, make sure you follow my Twitch. We will be live streaming some Commanders preseason games and maybe even some regular season games as well. Just watching those, reacting to them, and kind of breaking down some film on Twitch. So make sure you guys join the family over there. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next Commanders update. Peace.